We're starting. Oh, let me go line these beers up. Dude,
Get the presentation.
Dude, yeah, we're professionals here.
That's right. Act like we've done this before.
Yeah.
Like 104 times before. 104?
Oh, there's
104.
Hype. There's hype. Here we go, folks.
Oh, we got a little spinny circle. There we go. YouTube takes a little bit longer with it every time.
Every single day.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Welcome to Talking Heads, episode 104, your once weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
I'm Steve.
How's it going, everyone? How's your week going so far?
Not too bad.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah. Mine's been
up and down.
Up and down. Mm-hmm. Never try to work full time, do a YouTube channel, and move.
Oh yeah, at the same time.
All at the same time.
Well, yeah, you did that already.
Yeah, I did that already.
Yeah, you did that already. It was not fun.
Yeah, we sold our house last week. We finally closed on the sale of our house last week. We have an offer. It is pending on a house that we are really, really excited about.
Yeah.
And so basically we're locked in at this point. We're just kind of waiting for some paperwork to go through and set a closing date.
Yeah. Good news is it's still in the area.
Yes.
So I can still be a guest.
Exactly. Yeah. Still in the area. It's in a part of town we've wanted to live in for quite some time, and the price was right, and the house was right, and man, good things are coming. There's going to be a moving vlog this time around. Quite a few moving vlogs as I get the new studio set up, as well as home networking, home server stuff, and whatnot. So I do plan on bringing you guys along for the ride for that. So stay tuned to the channel if you're interested. I know content has been a little bit slow, as in like non-existent during the month of October, but I promise you I am coming back with a vengeance sometime in December. So
Somebody asked me what happened to the beard. I shaved it for a Halloween costume.
Yes.
We were gonna do Halloween costumes for this episode.
Yep.
But it didn't quite work out.
Yeah, I ran out of time, quite honestly. Yeah. Steve had a pretty epic one.
I had a pretty good one.
Yeah.
And I shaved for it and everything.
Yep. I was wondering if that's why you shaved. And I'm like, that's exactly why you shaved.
Exactly why I shaved. And I didn't even cut my hair for it too, because this character requires a lot of
bang lift.
A lot of bang lift and a lot of hair product.
Yes.
So
that wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, no, I know. That thing was
Steve texted me last night and he goes, "Are we dressing up?" And I said, "I haven't had time to put together a costume, so I'm going to say no." He goes, "Good, because I didn't want to do my hair again."
Yeah, I know. It was like rock solid when I had it on. It was just...
He goes, "Touch it," and I went,
yeah, it was.
It was not going anywhere. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, what are we drinking for tonight?
All right, tonight we have actually a good variety of different beers. So this is from Lewitt Brewing. It's called Gunship, or Son of a Gunship, India Pale Ale. And I think it's a hazy. I'm not too sure. I got it because I love the can art.
The can art is flippin'
is
sweet.
just, if anybody's a fan of like Airwolf or anything like that, it's kind of reminiscent 80s Airwolf style.
Yeah, there's also the Gunship computer games, the old
80s. I think that was 90s, 80s too.
Yeah, I think early 90s, I think. Local favorite from Ninkasi Brewing down in Eugene. This is Dawn of the Red. I know I've had this on the show a couple of times. I think once on Talking Heads and once for a video, but always a great staple from the guys down at Ninkasi. And then over in Bend, we've got 10 Barrel Pray for Snow, one of my favorite seasonals that's always out.
So yeah, we have summer, fall, winter.
Yep.
We got 3 seasons in our beer selection.
Yep, and all Oregon. So
yeah. Well, no, this is Washington.
Oh, that's right.
This is
always Vancouver. That's right. It's Oregon. That's right. Portland Light.
Yeah, Portland Light. That's right. Vantucky, as we like to call it. Yeah.
The coup.
Yeah, that's right.
The coup. All right. Let's go ahead and start with the Lewitt.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's got my eye.
Yeah, this looks pretty good. Oh, it smells good. Okay, definitely not a hazy.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
It smells great.
Yeah. And if you're a fan of punchy in the mouth hops, this is the smell anyway is right up your alley.
There we go.
Perfect. All right. So again, this is Lewitt Brewing, Son of a Gunship IPA. It's a 5.6%, so nice middle of the road. Drinkable IPA.
Definitely drinkable.
Yep.
I mean, nothing too special about it.
Crystal clear. Holy crap,
Definitely
that is clear.
not a hazy.
Wow.
Not a hazy at all.
That is insanely clear. Like, there's my eye through it. There you go.
Yeah.
That's how clear that beer is.
Yeah. But it's solid, like a solid IPA.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's not too heavy. It doesn't make you think too much.
No.
It's... Man, if... how much was this?
I think it was like $4 or something like that.
Okay.
I mean, it's like standard for like a pint.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd get it at a tap house.
A little bit more than I was thinking, but honestly, if this is what like Budweiser and Coors and stuff, something like them would make, maybe like a 4.5%.
Yeah.
It's not a beer that makes you think. It's a great lawnmower beer. Just solid.
Yeah.
Just solid.
It's not going to win any awards, but you're not going to spit it out either.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to our first story of the day. And even though this is a story with Bud Light, man, this is just near and dear to every beer drinker's heart.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to say. So if anyone has been watching the World Series as of late, which, by the way, where are we at with that? Nationals went up 4-2 in the 8th inning. Holy crap. Astros were kicking their butts.
I don't know if I really have a favorite to win.
I don't have a favorite. I'm kind of hoping for the Nationals because they've never even won a home playoff game. They won all of their games on the road. And this will be the only 7-game series that the road team wins every game if the Nationals win here. And it's the Nationals' first World Series. I'll back the Nationals.
Okay.
I'll back the
All right,
Dogs.
that's fine.
But yeah, apparently Nationals are up 4-2. Anyway, in Game 6, there was a moment in the Nationals ballpark with a fan who, sometime in the 6th inning, I think it was, was the recipient of a home run ball. But he did so in the most epic of ways.
Yeah. He had 2 beers in his hand.
Yeah.
So he had no real way of catching it.
Right.
So he basically just had to let his body slam into it. It's like, didn't spill the beer.
So he's got a Bud Light in each hand.
Yeah.
And the home run's coming, and it's coming straight for him. And he actually credited his Little League coach, which saying, angle your chest down and have the ball drop to your feet if you're going to miss it. And so he angled his chest. The ball hits him square in the chest. It drops to his feet. He pins it with his feet, fights off another dude for the ball, sets down his beer, and reaches down and picks it up. Without spilling a drop.
Yep. And I mean, I know why. I mean, I guarantee that those beers were probably like $12.
Oh, those were $9 pints.
Yeah, those were not cheap beers.
Right. But the Bud Light label was front and center in both hands. So, if you scroll down a little bit, Anheuser-Busch actually sent out a tweet, Bud Light, right up there.
Up here.
Up one, yeah.
There we go.
This man is a hero. Twitter, please figure out who this guy is so we can reward him.
Yeah.
Which is marketing 101. You find a good situation and you exploit the living crap out of it.
A viral video with your product
front
and center.
Pre-done. Yeah. You don't have to think about it. Right, exactly. Anyway, so they did find the guy. The guy's name is Jeff Adams. And if you scroll down just a little bit more, they made T-shirts with him on it. Always save the beers. They also put him in a commercial titled "Not All Heroes Wear Capes" that replayed the moment back. Not only that, they flew him down to Houston for Game 7 so he can be in the stands in Game 7.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It pays to be viral, I guess. Sometimes.
And there is no possible way this was a plant or a marketing gimmick or anything.
No.
This was a home run and happened to be a guy with...
Just happened to be there. It happened to have both their products front and center. And, he may have a small bruise, but probably well worth it.
Totally.
Free flight out to Houston, free baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
Probably free beer, too.
I guarantee free beer. Mm-hmm. And probably a nice little healthy contract for the next couple of months.
Yeah.
You know, maybe going into next year, hey, let's print out some T-shirts.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I'm sure he's getting paid for the T-shirts for his likeness, and everything else.
Yeah, well, they have his likeness on the commercial. They have to have his permission to use his likeness. So of course.
And the shirts as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you like that, go buy a shirt. If it wasn't Bud Light, if it was almost anyone else, I'd probably rep it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just can't. I just can't.
No. There's some ethics you won't break.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing but integrity here on this show. That's for sure.
Oh, we forgot to ask what everybody else was drinking.
Oh, that's right. We never gave any beer shout-outs. The D drinking a Dunham Saison Cherry. Let's see.
Is it better than Two Hearted? I actually didn't like Two Hearted that much. I think this is about on the same level as Two Hearted.
I'd kind of agree with that. Two Hearted, it was we said multiple times, it's a solid IPA.
Yeah, it was a solid
There's
IPA.
nothing wrong with it.
But I didn't like it because it was built up in my mind as being something really great.
Right.
And then I drank it and I'm like, well, this is just an IPA.
This is the number one IPA in America.
Yeah.
This beat out Great Notion.
Yeah.
This beat out, Breakside.
Yeah, it was just an
Tall Guy
Yeah.
and whatnot. And I'm going, I've had those. Those are amazing IPAs. They're complex. They're deep. They're rich. They're hoppy. They're citrusy. And I had this huge flavor profile kind of built up in my mind for what Two Hearted was going to be.
And it wasn't that at all. Yeah, no, same thing with me.
And it was just kind of flat. It was like, it's good, but it's far from great. So yeah,
Ska, he's got a gin and tonic.
Yeah,
Nice.
nice.
I had one of those before I came over.
Nice.
Because I got a lot of booze left over from my party.
I had a Gatorade one before the show started.
Oh,
so
a Gatorade?
about half of it.
Oh, just Gatorade.
Just Gatorade.
Oh, okay.
Just Gatorade this time
I
around.
don't think I've ever had Gatorade and gin. I'll try it sometime.
All right. This next story goes out to a friend of the show, Andy, over at etechnics.com. Because the first time I met him, he was drinking a Stella, and in fact, that's all he drank all night long.
Yep.
Was a Stella Artois. So Andy, when we see you at CES, if I can find one of these for you, this one's on me, buddy. Stella Artois is releasing their first ever limited edition US Holiday Brew called the Midnight Lager.
Yes, sir. It's going to be, I guess, a dark Belgian. So a light dark Belgian. Not very heavy. I think it's only going to be 4%. So it's going to keep with the same Stella Artois, kind of like easy drinking beer, but it's going to have, more roasty, chocolatey notes to it.
Yep. Yeah, dark chocolate and espresso with a smoky finish is what they say.
So, and it's going to be available just about everywhere.
Yeah.
And I guess tomorrow, being Halloween, it's going to be, I guess, available in some places on the East Coast at bars for a sneak preview.
There you go.
So
nice.
I can't imagine there's that many Stella Artois fans that will just want to go
gobble that up. Midnight release.
Yeah, I'll try it, I guess, but.
Although I've been to a 7 a.m. beer release, so
I know you and John went to that.
I can't exactly say I've never done that before. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
So, yep. Stella.
It's Stella. It's Stella.
Stella. Yeah.
Yep. Middle of the 8th, 0 outs. National still going. Jeez.
That's how baseball games go. That's how I never got into baseball. It takes so long and drag out. You can sit there and watch a game and then come back 25 minutes later and it's still the same.
Everything below 4.7% is basically water.
Yes.
And any dog under 20 pounds is a cat. I think I have an 18-pound dog. I think that's my lightest dog right now.
It's just a cat with an identity disorder.
Yeah. Oh, he is no cat. I wouldn't go so far as to call him that. But and then, as much as fun as we have of making fun of MillersCoors, MillersCoors is no more.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still technically there.
Still the same people.
But they're basically going through a restructuring, rebranding type of a thing. They are now going to be Molson Coors.
Yep.
Molson, of course, being Canadian beer.
Yes.
But I guess they have like 4 main business units. They have like, I guess, MillersCoors, which is the U.S., and they have like Molson Coors Canada, and then Molson Coors Europe, and Molson Coors
International.
That's right. And they're consolidating it down to 2.
Yes.
So we're gonna have the U.S. and then they're gonna have Europe, and then they're just gonna call it Molson Coors.
Right.
Just to simplify it.
Exactly. Now the change will apparently cost about 500 people their jobs. Unfortunately, that's the negative part of this story. And it always sucks to see anyone losing their job, let alone for a corporate restructure like this. But basically, Coors is just restructuring their brand. And I guess part of this move is to focus on beverages as a whole as well as their brewing industry. Because obviously with the craft beer market, they're running into pretty stiff competition and aren't growing as
not only that, but the whole, light seltzer water alcohol thing, the White Claw thing, that's taking a big old chunk out of their light, easy drinking, people, their market.
I went to an Oregon Duck game a couple of weeks ago, and I had never witnessed this in person before. But the no laws with the claws.
Oh yes,
someone walking off the Autzen Stadium shuttle bus in front of me had a big old 22-ounce White Claw in a koozie.
And it was a man, right?
No, it was a woman.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I expect that.
I think drinking one of the pineapple ones.
Okay.
If I remember right.
No, I mean it's very popular with the ladies.
Yep.
They tend to like it because it's low calorie and it's kind of sweet.
Exactly.
You've had one.
I've had one.
Yeah, I've had one too.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
Like I said, I drink seltzer water.
Yeah, no, I drink seltzer water too.
Yeah. So nothing too offensive, but so unfortunately 500 people out of the job as of January of the new year, and kind of a crappy time to find out.
Of course.
Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, all their family members are probably happy. It's like, every year we just get beer for Christmas.
Right.
Another Coors Light for Christmas? Thanks, Dad.
Or water.
Or water. Yeah.
Remember, everything under 4.7.
That's just water.
Sorry, Norway.
Yeah.
That's how we find out if Claw's watching.
Yeah, he'll pipe up. Yeah, he's not. He's usually asleep by now.
Exactly. All right, we had a fourth topic on the list, but the website was such absolute garbage, I took it out. It was Fox News, and I'm not saying that Fox News itself
was just
is
a lot
garbage.
Of ads and crap.
There were so many ads, and there was an autoplay video at the top of the ad.
that just wouldn't go away.
That wouldn't go away, and was loud and obnoxious, and it was nothing but whatever political posturing they're doing that day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going to show that on the show, but we can talk
about it. It was a kind of a funny story. Because it's basically a guy who he's in marketing, right? He's in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's across from New Holland Brewing, one of their facilities. And he had this just brilliant idea of putting a sign outside his window, and he has it sitting down where it says, "Hey, please go to floor 3 and give Sam some free beer."
Yeah, buy a beer for Sam.
Buy a beer for Sam
floor
and
3.
Floor 3 and give it to me.
Yep.
And the patrons would sit there and watch, and they'd read the sign, and they'd buy him a beer and take it up to him.
Right.
And I guess he's like up to like 80 some beers that he's gotten for free.
Yeah.
I'm sure he just takes it and like stashes it now. I mean, but he's in marketing, so I guess it's brilliant.
Jeff, in Oregon, are you allowed to drink in public? No. And that was my point. Yeah. No open containers.
No.
In the state of Oregon.
Most places don't let you drink in public.
Right.
Yeah.
Vegas is one of the few.
Vegas is one of the few.
Right.
Yeah, you can do
that you can do open container.
But yeah.
No glass bottles in Vegas, but everything else is fair game.
Yeah.
It's definitely not lawful in Oregon to drink in public. If you go to a beer event, every beer event has to be sanctioned in a beer garden and carded at the entrance and everything else.
And they usually have signs that say you can't
and
go behind this
there's
point.
a whole permit process.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not an easy state to drink in public in.
So it's like,
well, at least legally.
So people can't get over that I shaved my beard.
I know.
I'm growing it back. I'm gonna grow it back.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Meanwhile, mine's just going crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it is too early for the hiccups to start.
Already. It's a hoppy beer.
It is a hoppy beer.
It's a hoppy beer.
All right. Hey, 8:20 on the nose. Look at that.
Yeah, we got that.
End of beer news.
Dialed in. So is it Skull who's keeping track?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Skull. 20 minutes right on the nose.
Well,
20 minutes on the nose. Jeff begins.
Jeff
with the
starts
hiccups.
his hiccups.
Yeah.
There we go.
You can put that in the notes too.
I am doing the automated timestamps now.
Oh, you are? Okay.
So that is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, last couple of weeks that's been getting better and better as I remember to do it.
Right. As the drinks start flowing more.
Yeah, I've only forgotten a couple stories, so not a big deal. So, any drone fans in the audience? Steve, have you ever done anything with drones?
I've messed with them a little bit. I've never bought any or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay. I had a DJI Phantom 3 for quite some time. I found the whole thing was always too cumbersome to take with me. Whether I... And there's some beautiful places to take drones and go fly and do videography in Oregon. And I always had these grand plans of being able to do that. But the backpack for it was legit
huge,
that big.
Yeah.
The drone didn't collapse. The batteries were absurdly expensive. You got 23 minutes of flight time if you were really lucky for a $150 battery. You got one battery when you bought the drone for $500. So if you wanted to do any length of shooting at all, so if I wanted to go film for an hour, I'm looking at $800 for the drone. And you got to charge them one at a time, and it takes 2 hours to charge a battery, or you've got to buy the triple charger, which was $140 or $50 by itself.
On top of that,
On top of that, and you got to buy, replacement props and make sure your camera's good. And it's an expensive endeavor, and one that was never able to be fit in the car. And then, am I going to drive 3 hours, go film for 1 hour, and then drive back 3 hours? That's not going to happen.
That doesn't really fit into your YouTube thing. So it's an extravagant expense for just making pretty nature pictures.
You're right. I actually owned the Phantom 3 the year before, or maybe 2 years before I started YouTube.
That could be your stick from now on. Everybody does the video reviews on a desktop. You got to do it from a drone a couple hundred feet. Yeah, and you're just yelling. This is the new nVidia card!
My new house is bigger. It's not quite that big.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the main reason I sold it. It's not that I didn't like the drone. It's the battery life was terrible. The batteries were too expensive, and the thing was too big to haul around with me. Let alone when I had kids and all of a sudden I'm wanting to go out and travel more and let's go fly the drone. It's one more bag you got to throw in the car, and it was just too much. When I've got a camera bag that I can fold up and get really good pictures with, like an A50-100 or something. Anyway, DJI has been slowly and steadily kind of lowering the bar for what the size of drones can be. And this week they made a pretty stellar announcement in that they've announced the Mavic Mini. And it is a drone so small, it doesn't require FAA registration.
Yeah, it's super tiny.
Right.
That if it gets hit by a plane, the plane's like, what was that?
Right.
It doesn't care.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. But apparently it's got better battery life. It's not as big of a camera.
No, it's a 2.7K camera.
Yeah, it's not a 4K.
Right.
But if you want to stalk somebody, it's a lot easier to hang around.
Right.
You don't need 4K when you're peeking in somebody's window. 2K is fine.
The footprint of the drone is about the same size as an iPhone when it's completely folded up.
That's pretty nice.
It's obviously thicker, but the thing does fold to a very nice small footprint.
Yep.
And it has a 249 grams, so it is under the 250 gram registration requirement for the FAA. Now, if you want to fly this commercially, so if you're doing like real estate photography or something like that, you still need an FAA Class 107 license. So that any drone you're required to get a license for.
But stocking is okay. No FFA for that.
Right,
okay.
right. And the price was rumored to be about $500. Actually, they shocked everyone and came out at $399.
Oh, really?
$399 for the basic package. Most people are probably going to upgrade to the fly package is what they call that. And what that is you get 2 extra batteries and a couple of extra accessories with it, and a triple charger. So, and the batteries last for 30 minutes apiece.
Did they say anything about how much thrust or lift it has?
There's not a lot of information about speed, although I had a better article.
Not speed. I just want to know how many I have to buy to tie it to my 3-year-old and have him fly.
Oh, right.
I just want to know that.
I don't think it has quite that much lift.
Oh, well, I mean, if I get 50 of them, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're going to be a little short there.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, $500 gets you 3 batteries, a triple charger, 90 minutes of flight time.
That's good.
For less than I paid for the Phantom 3.
Yeah, in a nice little tiny package. It just fits in your hand.
Right, that I can literally stick into my camera backpack instead of replacing it with it. Can shoot 12 megapixel stills and H.264 at 2.7K at 30 FPS. Now, the fly... Oh, that's right. The fly package also gets you a cage that goes around the propellers. However, the cage puts the drone over the 250-gram limit. So if you put the cage on, you do have to register.
Okay.
But honestly, just don't fly it around trees and you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
Yeah, speed-wise, again, not a lot of information yet. However, it is officially launched. You can buy it, I believe, on November 11th is when it's available for sale.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to terrorize my neighbors.
I do have a Parrot Bebop 2 right now with the Sky controller. I've had mixed luck with that.
Yeah.
My very first flight, a propeller flew off in flight, and the drone dropped about 80 feet.
Oh.
And
That just flew up and killed somebody.
No, broke the camera
Okay.
and GPS module straight off the nose. So I had to go out and buy replacements for that. Went out to the backyard after I had it repaired and tested with a new set of props, and the same propeller flew off
again. Okay.
And this time the drone only fell about 5 feet because I was just kind of go up trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
And I am not new to drones. I've been into drones for probably 5 or 6 years in various stages. The nicest one I've had was the Phantom 3.
Yeah, okay.
But I've had a lot of little trainer drones and whatnot. So I'm not new to like putting a propeller on and the same propeller went and shot up in the air. So I'm not sure how I feel about the Bebop 2 yet. I've heard really good things about it, but I may end up getting rid of that one and getting like a Mavic Mini or something.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the specs on it look good. The price is right.
Yep.
Good battery life. Camera's not as, but I mean, come on, how much? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And honestly, 2.7K out of the Phantom 3 looked amazing.
Yeah.
It was an amazing video.
Yeah.
People are going, well, it's not 4K. Yeah, it's also a sensor like the size of your pinky nail. What do you want out of it?
Yeah.
So, like
They got to cut corners somewhere, guys. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. And they also don't want to undercut their other drones because you want to sell
you gotta have a high point to look up to.
right.
You have to have a premium.
You got to have a 4K drone at $799 that you upgrade to, and then the $1,000 drone.
Yeah.
2.7K. I think that's great. I think that's great for a $500 price point.
Man, are we just booking through these stories or what? We just got. What's the score right now? Not that I really care.
It is still 4-2.
Like I said, like baseball moves slowly.
It is the top of the 9th. I believe the Astros are batting, or no, the Nationals are up again. Let me double check. Top of the 9th. Yeah. Play by play. Yeah, Nationals are at bat.
Yeah.
So basically, they got to get out of this inning and then score 2 runs. Houston does.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, at least it's still better than soccer.
yeah. I hope you buy one and make a review or vlog with it. Well, I'm probably not going to do that with a drone, but I do have a really cool camera coming tomorrow.
That's right. We were looking at all the accoutrements.
Yeah, which are stacked up on the
All
desk
back
behind me.
there, yeah.
So
Right there.
I have everything but the camera, and it's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
But I spent some money.
Yes.
I spent a
It
lot
looks
of money.
like it. It looks like it. There's a pretty penny
Yes.
packed up in that pile of goodies.
So that one's going to be fun. This is an upgrade to my Fuji X-T3 to a proper Cinecam. And if you follow me on Twitter, you probably got a little sneak peek of that earlier today. But that'll be here tomorrow. So, Cinecam video coming soon. You've done a fair bit of traveling.
A little bit, yeah.
Have you ever ran into roaming charges?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us have from time to time. I've been over in Eastern Oregon, and where I should have nationwide roaming, they said, "Oh, you jumped onto a Verizon tower, and we didn't have one in the area."
Yep.
And so
all of a sudden, you're blink.
yeah, we're gonna charge you for this or charge you for that, and well, it's not what my contract says, and then they retract the charges. Not naming who the company is, but anyway, And of course, there's been stories of travelers who are like in Southern California and they get on a boat that happens to go into Mexico and start pinging off Mexico towers.
And then they get just
and they
big
get
time.
bombarded with international roaming charges for sharing a Facebook video or something like that.
Something ridiculously small.
Streaming Netflix, Well, that actually happened to a team of Russian researchers, but not in the standard traditional...
No, this is a little different. This
was a team of Russian researchers who were tagging migrating eagles and watching their flight patterns.
But yeah, it was pinging back with SMS.
Right. So they had little SMS transponders on them that would send basically a GPS coordinates over text message back to the research team. Mm-hmm. Well, apparently, somewhere in Kazakhstan, the eagle lost communication with a tower or flew too high. He landed in Iran, and then it sent over 1,000 text messages back at an international rate.
Yeah, I think it was like 45 cents a pop or something like
that.
The equivalency of like 45 cents a pop.
Yeah.
Basically ate up the whole budget.
Right, so they had a budget to track 13 eagles, and they had the right plans based on where they thought the eagles were going to be going. None of them should have been going to Iran. However, one adventurous eagle did go to Iran.
Yeah.
And racked up a roaming charge of 1,223 pounds.
It's because he was browsing Eagle Tinder with his phone that he is.
Talon
it's like, hey, baby, where you at? It's like, oh, there's someone in Iran that's interested in you. I'm gonna use my beak to swipe left.
So, anyway, that 1,223 pounds was literally the entire research budget for this project. Yeah. So they started a crowdfunding campaign to try to recoup some of these funds. Now, luckily, Megaphone, which is the provider in Iran who was charging the overage fees, offered to bail them out and basically nullified the charges.
Right. Yeah.
So this all had a happy ending.
It had a happy ending until the Eagles figure out how to buy microtransactions on Pokemon Go.
Right.
Then they got screwed.
Or they get onto those adult phones.
That's right.
Exactly.
Oh, caca.
Wait, you sound like a crow.
Well, I don't know eagle sound exactly. I just know that
Eagle in heat wasn't part of your...
that I want to buy a car
bird call training
with so many eagle. With the beak of 1,000 eagles.
Oh, Lord. Why did they use GSM and not the Things Network lower one? Probably just the equipment that they decided to get.
Because they're Russians.
Right.
Like, I guess this will work. Let's go use it. There's more in their vodka budget than their their SMS budget.
All we have are these burner phones.
Yeah, that's right. Vlad got a whole box of them for us. Let's tie them to eagles.
Pokemon Go. Oh, what year is it? Oh, sorry. Whatever the Harry Potter one is.
Yeah.
Harry Potter Go. Yeah. Actually, my wife still plays Pokemon Go.
Does she really?
Yeah, pretty regularly.
That's good.
Yeah. Occasionally on the way home, we'll have to. Hey, can you drive by the park real quick so I can get my grabs there?
People still do it. I think I loaded it once to figure out what the hype was, and I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yep.
That's about as far.
I'd rather play Pokemon, on like my Switch.
Oh right, yeah. Oh, that was kind of.
Or you LARP Pokemon.
Gonna LARP Pokemon. But you go get some like feety pajamas and
Super Ball.
And shuffle around the shag carpet and like something like that. I don't know. I mean, Pokemon was not ever my thing.
Right.
It got popular when I stopped caring about that type of stuff.
I only really played the initial ones, the red blue that came to America, and then I know I had yellow at some point as well. Yeah. I think that was the last that I really played of it. I tried downloading the free one for Switch. Couldn't get into that one.
Yeah.
I know I have a cartridge for, I think, Sapphire Y or something like that, or Pokemon Y.
Yeah.
For the 3DS. I don't know how I got it, but I have it. I tried playing that one too, and it was exactly like Red. And I went, so there's different Pokemon.
I never got into any of them. None of them. I don't. I mean, I guess I know they're popular. Mm-hmm. I just never got into any of them. So if you ever come into like a Pokemon trivia game and I'm like your lifeline, don't call me.
Right.
Because I will be miserable at it.
I know like 20 of the originals at this point. That's about it.
I just know Jigglypuff because just like... Well, I'm not going to tell you why, no.
That was his costume this year, incidentally. When it's Jigglypuff. That's why he had to shave.
It was, yeah. It was an adult-themed party.
Moving right along.
Yes.
So... Let's see. I used to have a smartwatch, and I really miss my smartwatch.
I know a lot of people like those, and I can see how it could be useful, but in my situation, I don't ever see a reason why I won't.
I had a very specific one that worked very, very well in my use case. I had a Pebble Steel. So Pebble was the Kickstarter phenomenon, raised so many millions of dollars in crowdfunding, shipped the original Pebble, then they had the Pebble Steel that was released, and then they came out with the Pebble Color, which was a little bit different display. It was basically an e-ink display in the original one, and then a color e-ink display. So the battery lasted for 7 or 10 days, connected over Bluetooth LE, and worked with iOS or Android, and basically worked as a notification system.
Just let you know it's
hey, why is my phone ringing? What buzz just happened in my pocket? Right. And what I found really useful was not I'm going to respond to this text message now. Yeah. Because it wasn't touchscreen. It was an up and down button and a center button.
Just a little notification type of thing.
It was who's emailing me or who's texting me or what was really great is when I was up doing some dirt trail riding on my motocross bike, having GPS for trailheads. And so I could know what trail I'm supposed to take back. Give myself
lost.
Give myself a start point and drive to wherever, and then just say, okay, track it back, and then I'd get directions on the trailheads coming back. That was wonderful to have right there. But the best part about the Pebble Steel was when I'm at work, it told me, do I have to take my phone out of my pocket, or can I just ignore this?
Right.
And so it only saved me 4 to 10 seconds at a time. But 150 times a day.
I can see how that would be completely, because we used to have like a bunch of friends and stuff. They used to have the Facebook chat, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can do groups on it, and everybody's on Facebook. Not everybody would want a better messenger. I personally do not like Facebook Messenger, but everybody was on Facebook, so that's what we used. You would type something, and then you'd get like ping, ping, pings. Like, was it something useful, or is it just someone giving you a thumbs up? Right. Like. A thumbs up.
Constantly.
Like, I gotta take this out of my pocket for a thumbs up.
Right. And so what I found is it only saved me, 10 seconds at a time, but 200 times a day when I'm getting an email and go, oh, do I have to respond to that? No. Okay. Yeah. Oh, do I have to respond to that one? Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going, nope. And I'm done. Mm-hmm. And so it was so useful when you're someone like me who does get 200 to 300 emails per day, or you're expecting a certain phone call or what, what have you.
You can instantly filter out what you need to filter out.
Well, Pebble was purchased by Fitbit a good while ago, and with it went all the support, all the API plugins and whatnot. Eventually, just kind of faded
went
away.
Off the way too,
However, I'm kind of hoping for a return because they're it's because Fitbit basically ruined Pebble. Yeah. They destroyed the store. They took away the ecosystem. They took away everything that made it.
Yeah, my wife had a couple of Fitbit. Athletic things, and they were not very good. They kind of sucked.
Yeah, a couple of my friends have had them. I think my wife had a Fitbit for a while, and they didn't work for a notifier. They barely worked for a fitness tracker. Yeah, and whatnot. It was just like, but they did away with everything that made the Pebble good and tried to integrate it into the Fitbit stuff, which wasn't good to begin with. Right, and it was just a fail. Yeah. Well, Google is right now rumored to be putting in a bid to buy Fitbit outright.
That's right.
In which they would have the rights to both Fitbit and Pebble.
So they might just like get rid of the fiddly bits.
Right. Now, this is a long shot.
Yeah, who knows?
This is a long shot.
Come back.
Yeah. Pebble was the ancient Star Citizen overrated AF. No. When Star Citizen comes out, I do have high hopes for it based on the scale, and I did buy into Star Citizen. I spent like $130 on Star Citizen, but I'm far from the biggest spender on Star Citizen.
No. There's way bigger people out there.
But at this point, I'm just kind of waiting for it to come out so I can have my free copy of Squadron 42.
Yes, me too.
Because I bought in. Yeah, I don't think Pebble was overrated because I had a use case for it. Was it the best smartwatch on the planet? No. It didn't have voice integration, which I really wish it did. I couldn't, Hey Siri or Okay Google.
But it was pretty affordable though too. I mean, it wasn't
$150.
Yeah, it wasn't like your Apple Watch or anything. It was ridiculously expensive.
And it did exactly what it advertised, and it did it well. It wasn't sluggish on the interface. It like a couple of smartwatches that I've tried.
Yeah.
I had another smartwatch that I tried that was an always-on, all-day smartwatch. Mm-hmm. It was the one with the analog hands that came through the screen. It was another crowdfunded one.
Okay.
I'm forgetting the name of it. But that one was $230 or something like that. And that interface was so ungodly slow, where you would swipe and maybe it would think about it, but it had an LCD screen under it. But the animations were so slow and clunky and horrible that the watch was literally unusable. And even for notifications, if you didn't clear out a notification, the new notifications wouldn't take priority. Yeah. And so if you went 20 minutes without clearing a notification...
It still looked like you had the same notification.
You had the same notification, and you'd have to dig down.
And you had to sit there for 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden you lost usefulness.
And so I ended up just picking up my phone and going, clear all my notifications out, and then putting it back in my pocket, and then I'd get one that was useful. And then if I didn't clear it out right away, I've got 3 more on my phone ready to go, and they weren't overriding the last one. So I'm done. Can't handle this. Yeah. Anyway, I think it was a Swedish company that did that one.
Swatch.
Wasn't a Swatch.
They're Swedish, though. It's not a Swedish watch company I know.
But anyway, so I have high hopes for this acquisition. I really hope Google does some good things with the Fitbit and the Pebble.
I mean, who knows? I mean, Google's a mixed bag of everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes they put up good stuff. Sometimes they put things in it and then they ditch it. 5 minutes later.
Right. And they've had some good things with Android Wear, but they've always fallen short because I think they're trying to do too much. They're trying to make it a smartwatch that's on your wrist. I already have a smart device, and it's in my pocket, and I want that to stay in my pocket. I want notifications on my wrist to let me know, do I have to take it out of my pocket? I want you to do good fitness tracking and good heart rate tracking.
I want they can do some of that tech and integrate it with the next gen of Google Glass.
Microns, thank you.
Microns,
yes, Microns watch. So, yeah, that was the name of the weird analog one.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Like I said, so memorable because it was terrible.
Remember.
I wore it for like 3 months. I tried wearing it at CES last year, and I gave up after 12 hours.
It just was garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just not usable. Hops and Brews test. I see you.
Okay, good.
Okay,
He's
Hops
testing.
and Brews is there.
Yeah,
good deal.
He's texting from a toilet device.
Here, see, you're there.
There you go.
You're right there.
Oh, that's new. I didn't do that. Make a little chats up there.
Yeah. It's a Swiss company that made their first hybrid smartwatch with a floating screen. Yep. So, but yeah. So there's not a lot of information other than both of their stocks rose on news of the deal. Yeah. Google and Fitbit both declined to comment on the news. And Fitbit had previously cut its 2019 revenue forecast in July, blaming disappointing sales of its newly launched and cheapest smartwatch, the Versa Lite. Because apparently it's at $160 and it sucked.
Yeah, like I said, most Fitbit hardware is not good.
Right.
Like of the I think 2 Fitbits my wife had, the charger it stopped charging after like a couple months. It just wouldn't connect anymore.
Yep.
6 of my comments have been deleted. That was on purpose. There's a filter that says Hops and Brews just
you actually hold on, because you should be automatically allowed to post anything you want. Unless
I had the opposite.
Unless Reverend is filtering you out.
For good reason.
Reverend and Skull are our mods. Let me go to... where's my community settings?
Oh, is it the C one?
No.
I don't know.
That's right. I think I have to go to Classic. Skip. I made an adult joke and they got deleted. Well, that's probably why. They were probably auto-filtered.
Was it a joke about taxes?
Might have been.
That's an adult joke.
Let's see. I know, I'm testing right now. Approved users? Yeah, Hops and Brews.
Oh, yeah,
automatically approved.
Yeah,
automatically approved to comment, but I think it still will filter out naughty language. So.
Clamps.
Clamps.
Clamps is naughty, apparently.
Yeah. Give them the clamps. What, these clamps? I use all day for clamping things? All right, I think we talked enough about that. Speaking of transitions.
Yes, let's go. Yes.
Let's see. How do we compare this? Wallets. What do you prefer for a wallet fold? What do you got for a wallet?
I just have a billfold just like that.
Just a bifold?
Like yeah, just a bifold.
Yep. So I'm bifold through and through. I used to be trifold, and they ended up getting just way too thick.
I mean, but even after, if I know I'm not gonna need my ID or anything like that, since I have all my pay stuff on my phone, I don't even take my wallet anywhere.
I have a lighter weight wallet that I will sometimes use when traveling, and I'll keep it somewhere else, not in my pocket.
Because I tend to get the George Costanza wallet problem where just I like stuffs too much in there, and pretty soon I got this big old wad hanging out of my pants.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it's not cash.
No, it's not cash. It's like, oh wow, you're thick, man.
Right.
It's like, no, there's just receipts that I obviously don't need to keep.
That I don't know why I kept.
50% from Taco Bell. I don't know why I keep them, but
and I paid cash.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like I'm balancing my checkbook with it.
Yeah.
No, I do the same exact thing. Anyway, the Galaxy Fold launched with such applause and reverence that and the phone and hinge were just so stable, and it looked like the perfect smartphone layout that TCL has decided to do a trifold version.
Oh yeah. So yeah,
what can you say?
What are you gonna do? It's gonna be the new phone wars. How many folds can you get?
Yeah.
In your new phone, we have a quad fold.
Yeah.
It'll double as a coffee table.
I want to know who in God's name thought this was a good idea.
We're gonna have cases that will have cases. You can fold them out, and they have little legs that'll pop out, and it'll be like little coffee tables that are also smartphones.
Right.
Yeah. That's where it's gonna go. That's where it's gonna go next.
Yeah. You know what my phone needed? One more fold and 3 times the thickness.
Yeah.
That's what it needed.
It needs more of that. You remember, back in the 80s, they had the big brick phone, right?
That's right.
It's going back to the brick phone, but it's just because it's all compact and folded together.
I can't wait for the double fold where it folds this way and then in half, again.
I can't wait for the origami phone.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a little crane.
It's a goose.
Or something like that.
A goose.
There's a goose.
Right.
And just flaps back.
And now it's a 12-inch tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Apparently, more details will be coming about this phone at CES. We will certainly be there.
We'll take a look at it.
We will take a
look. Try to look at it.
Because, oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'll be like, does it fold this? Oh, no, it doesn't fold that way.
Oh, is that a problem?
Sorry. Didn't mean it.
Keep the fold phone. I want my Sony slider back.
Yeah.
I hear you there. I had a Sony Ericsson slider for so long.
Oh, I used to love it. That was like I think the Galaxy S Relay was one of the last Samsung slider phones that they had, and I held onto that thing for way longer than I should have because it was one of the last holdouts that actually had a physical keyboard and a slide out thing. I loved that thing.
Yep, I think I had a Samsung slider as well. That was my last slider phone, and I loved that thing because it reminded me so much of the Matrix phone, but in a modern form factor.
Right.
It was nice and small.
Yep.
And you can flip it closed and do that kind of number with it. Anyone else looking forward to the Moto Razr foldable phone? Not for $2,000.
Yeah, no.
I was really excited when
that price tag came out.
When it was announced like a year ago that this was in development stages. Because I like the form factor of the Razr phone. I thought the idea of a full flip out, decent size screen.
And the original, the first Razr phone that came out had really good reviews. I mean, it was well performed and everything like that. So.
Yeah, exactly. But after seeing the tendency for folding screens to crease in the center, and you kind of have that wave in the middle. I don't know if that'll be noticeable in daily use, but I do know what will be noticeable in daily use, and that's the $2,000 fewer that I have in my pocket.
Yeah, I know. I'll definitely be lighter.
Right.
I'll be crying for at least 6 months if I spend $2,000 for a phone.
Yeah, for hardware that honestly I wasn't like clamoring to have.
Yeah, it wasn't anything special.
Like spec wise, I wasn't overly impressed with what they were telling me that was going to be in the Moto Razr. So it looks cool. I'm glad they're making it. Not for $2,000.
Yeah. Well, we're about halfway done. Are you almost done with your beer?
I think I'm done with this beer.
Okay.
I've had this cold that has been lingering for like 2 weeks now, and so I have like this slight stuffy nose, and my stomach has just been aggravated for like 2 weeks. And,
it didn't have anything to do with drinking too much at my party, right?
No, it actually didn't.
That didn't.
I didn't have that much to drink at your party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we were talking about that. Yeah. For the people who are members of our Discord, there's some karaoke footage of Jeff on there.
I nailed it.
Jeff and John, actually. Yep. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Can't let John go solo on Dire Straits.
Oh, of course not.
I'm just disappointed he didn't do Sultans of Swing.
That's my Dire Straits go-to.
Yeah.
I think John likes Romeo and Juliet for Dire Straits.
Romeo and Juliet's good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, beer number 2, Ninkasi Brewing Company down in Eugene, Oregon, Dawn of the Red.
Yeah.
7% red ale. And their art on this is, again, kind of second to none.
It's kind of hollow. Well, I mean, I think the old Dawn of the Red ones was a little better because they had like zombies on there.
Yeah, this one's just the rocker.
Yeah.
But, always great art from Ninkasi as well.
But yeah, it's like a hoppier red.
Yeah.
But it's got that kind of sweet maltiness you kind of expect in a red.
And a good 7%. Yeah. Nice.
It'll get you there. Our Walk of Life. Yeah, Walk of Life's okay.
Walk of Life's not bad.
Yeah. I think that's the one I post.
Woohoo.
That's the one I posted.
Yeah, we did Walk of Life.
That was what you're doing.
Yep.
You're doing Walk of Life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's John saying it. All right. So, as of today, you can buy an Intel i9 9900 KS.
That's right. It is out today. What was for the low price is what, $550?
Retail price of $513. I think.
$513. I know it was in the 5 range.
It's $570 and up.
Okay.
Is what it's selling for. And in fact, I think Micro Center had it for $699.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get this.
No, especially since much more better AMD offerings are just around the corner.
This is so stupid.
Next, in a couple weeks, we're gonna get
2 weeks is the 3950X.
Yeah,
the 16 core. Ugh. For $750
right.
if they're available.
Right.
Because the 3900X has been kind of hard to come by. The 9900 Keep Spending Edition, exactly.
Yeah.
5 gigahertz on all cores. Seriously. Yeah, we know. Kind of like the 9900K. No. That one only had 2 cores to 5 gigahertz. I know, but literally 98% of all 9900Ks were able to be overclocked to 5 gigahertz out of the box with very little voltage tweaking. Like 1.25 will get you there.
Yeah, it's not much.
So
not a big bragging right.
Yeah, I did mine at 5 gigahertz with 1.32, and so I'm in that Silicon winner wheelhouse. So this is just stupid.
Yeah.
This is a slightly better bin where they guarantee 5 gigahertz instead of saying 95% of you will make it
This is Intel just trying to put something out there to get people to remember that
we're still the best gaming CPU.
We're still here.
Remember us?
Yeah, we're still here. We're gonna have the best gaming CPU for about 2 weeks.
Yeah. I said a year ago when Intel announced this, or this was back at Computex, I think they announced this, that this was going to be stupid, and I stand by it.
And it's still 14 nanometer. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
There's no die shrink. There's nothing different.
Nothing.
It's the same chip. Does it perform? Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does very, very well. I'm sure it's great. In fact, but it's still stupid. It is still stupid.
It's the guy incognito of Intel chips.
I think the best equivalency that I've seen so far is Greg over at Science Studio called it Intel's 9590.
9590.
the FX chip that should never have
Yeah,
been the 250 watt beast that didn't perform well. I think that's exactly what this is. I think he hit the nail on the head with that. That this chip literally has no purpose.
Yeah.
There's no point to it.
It's only there for Intel bragging rights.
And that was the 9590 was 5 gigahertz. We did it.
Look at that.
All 8 cores. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, unless it's just something else than gaming, yeah.
Right.
Which most everybody does.
Right. And even for gaming, who is buying a 9900KS and gaming at 1080 or 1440?
Yeah.
I mean, 1440 I can kind of see, but you're going to make like a 3% difference over anything.
Yeah, when you're doing it that high, it's more your GPU than your CPU.
Right, you shift your load over to your GPU, especially when you go to 4K.
Yeah.
4K has been the great equalizer for the last 5 years.
Of course.
And 1440 has been as well. I did 2 years ago. I did some 1440p versus 1080 testing, and the results were nearly identical on low clocked CPUs versus high clocked CPUs.
Yeah. So
I did a 5820K overclocked to 4.2 versus an E5 2680 V3, which was a 12 core chip at the time. So double the cores, double the threads, but only a 2.7 max boost. And so, I mean, a disparity of 1500 megahertz. And the difference was marginal. I mean, it was like 1 or 2% across the board.
yeah, so it wasn't worth it at all.
And honestly, those results are going to hold up today. I mean, we haven't advanced that far as gaming needs. Even going to high refresh rate 1080 gaming.
Right.
Yeah, this will get you that extra couple of percent and whatnot. And yeah, if you bought 144 hertz, yeah, you can do 144 locked instead of occasionally dipping to 132.
Yeah.
But don't buy this.
Again, diminishing returns. It's
right.
It's not worth it. This is you're gonna pay a pretty penny for it with no advantage to it really whatsoever except for bragging rights.
At least Roman had some fun with it, overclocking the 9900KS to 5.6 or so. I hadn't seen that video yet. I did see it pop up on my feed though.
Oh, okay. So 5.6.
Yeah, I'll probably check out
decent
Derbauer's
overclock.
Yeah. I hope I get to see him at CES again too. He was a hoot to hang out with. But Intel just knows we will all be on LN2 pots soon enough. It's exactly right. That's how I plan on doing all my video editing from now on. Is just a LN2 thermos sitting right next to me. So, is 9900K still a Halo product? Intel's trying to treat it as such, but it's losing less and less of its Halo.
Yeah,
as the year goes on.
Its luster is tarnished.
Yep. We still beat the 3700X. Yeah, by like 1%. Oh, and by the way, the 3700X is $329. Yeah. So yeah. Stupid product. And I don't say that often, but this totally is. And
I'm also yes. I mean, I wouldn't say this is also kind of a useless product too.
This is also a useless product.
Yeah.
This product also shouldn't exist.
No.
This is a spec bump at best. And we're getting like 6 months between cards now.
Yeah.
Which makes it really, really frustrating for a reviewer who doesn't get all the cards, because I need to have cards to compare them to other cards. Right now I have a 5700 on my bench that I benchmarked against an RTX 2060. I benchmarked that as such because when I received the card, the 2060 Super was literally not available. It was a paper launch at best. Well, now you can get the 2060 Super, so my benchmarks are kind of invalidated.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I bought a 1660 for myself to run in my streaming rig here. And now if AMD wants to put out their RX 5500 series on Navi, I need a 1660 Super to compare it against instead of a 1660.
Right, the comparable. And that's what this was put out for.
Even though this is just a spec bump.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 5% slower.
Yeah, if you do a review on Whip, you're like, well, how come you didn't compare it to blah, blah, blah?
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right. Because my budget is not unlimited, and because I don't get sent every single card. I've only ever been sent like 3 graphics cards, and 2 of them sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of my graphics cards on my shelf over there, I bought with my own money.
Oh, yeah.
So, and there's a lot of money up there. So, it's frustrating from a review standpoint. It's frustrating from a spec standpoint. It's frustrating from a consumer standpoint.
Oh, especially from a person just jumping in.
Mm-hmm.
What does this mean?
Oh, from a market confusion standpoint.
I got a 1660, a 1660 Ti, and a 1660 Super.
Right.
What's the difference?
Right. So actually, if you scroll down a little bit, there's a chart I want you to open. Yeah. There's a little full screen button on it. On the top right.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
There we go.
So this is a chart, handy little chart posted by PC Gamer, which kind of gives a breakdown of all of the specs between the 1650 and the 2060 Super. There should only be 2 cards in between that, but bear with me. So the 1650, as it stood, had 896 CUDA cores, 56 TMUs, had a base clock of 1485 and a boost of 1665, which it could pretty much hit full time. And had GDDR5, I believe, for video memory.
I think it is 5, yeah.
4 gigabytes of GDDR5. And a 75-watt TDP. Enter the 1650 Super, which is actually a spec bump, a pretty sizable spec bump in CUDA cores, from 896 up to 1280. Clock's got a bump as well, from a 1665 to a 1725. Mm-hmm. It also gained 25 megahertz of TDP, which is not insignificant. The bandwidth on the memory also increased from 128 gigabytes per second to 192 gigabytes per second. Still GDDR5 and still 4 gigabytes worth. Also 80 TMUs versus 56. So a pretty sizable spec bump.
Yep.
Basically using the same core on the TU16 as the GTX 1660. So up from the TU117. The 1660 is basically the same card.
Barely anything better.
It's
barely anything better.
Barely.
I know.
So the 1660 already had GDDR6.
Yeah.
It was... gosh, where was it? 6 gigabytes of GDDR6, and it had 192 gigabytes of bandwidth. They sped that up to 336, so they nearly doubled the bandwidth allocation to it. However, everything else is the same. Same 1408 CUDA cores, same 88 TMUs, same base and boost clocks, 5 watts more TDP. So what are we going to get? Like 3, 5, maybe 7% better performance.
What's the price difference on those two? I don't even know. I don't think
they're about the same. I mean, that's the whole point of the Supers, is they're supposed to be replacing the 1660, not adding to it. However, for the next 6 months, it's going to be added to it.
Because they're still in stock. And
right.
Yeah. It's just going to be super confusing for the consumer.
Right. And so now it actually has more bandwidth than the 1660 Ti that sits above it. So are we going to get a 1660 Ti Super?
Yeah.
When Super was kind of the monkier of this current generation, except for the 1 card or the 2 cards we got TIs in, with the 1660 and the 2080. And this is so stupid.
Is nVidia abandoning the TI nomenclature and just going with Super?
No, because there's a 1660 Ti and the 2080 Ti is still a thing.
But the Super is fairly recent.
The Super is their most recent iteration of better than the version that's not Super.
So have they put out a TI card after they've announced the Super nomenclature?
They've put out the 1660 and the 1660 Ti, and then put out the 1660 Super.
If you're gonna do the Super, just put it at Super,
which slots right between the two.
And stop calling, because it's very confusing to the consumer.
Honestly, there's one easy fix for this, and that's AMD to actually release their full stack of graphics cards. Mm-hmm. Because right now, nVidia is trying to muddy the waters so much in the consumer space, because AMD is only competing in one very narrow segment. They're competing in the RX 5700 and 5700 XT, and those cards are only $50 apart. Yeah. And they're competing in a very narrow segment between the RTX 2060 and the RTX 2070, which again is only $100 apart. So if AMD would broaden their product catalog, which is coming, but it's going to come in the form of the RX 550 or 5500, that's going to compete in the $150 to $200 price point. Well, NVIDIA then has 10 different offerings between $150 and $500. Yeah. So AMD's still not competing. So AMD needs to make some pretty major strides and force NVIDIA to compete at the major price points. Compete at 200, compete at 275, 350, and 500. Yeah. And And again, from a reviewer standpoint, this is
it's so hard.
Frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, according to JSU Sense, nVidia will keep making the 1650, 1650 Super, 1660, 1660 Super, and 1660 Ti.
See, that's just ridiculous.
And it's stupid.
It's just dumb.
And then you're going to get...
I could understand if they want to replace the Ti with the Supers.
Right.
Because, I mean, that makes sense from a consumer standpoint who doesn't know anything about cards. It's like, oh, it's a Super.
Right.
It's a little better, right?
Right.
It's good marketing, right? They don't know what Ti means.
Right.
Okay. So if you replace Ti with Super, makes sense. It doesn't bloat the market too much. You just start phasing out the Ti and putting the Super. But no, there's still
Super Ti GTSR.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna make it ridiculous. Right. And I think you're right. They're just doing it to cloud the market.
Yep.
And to make it like, they're being heavily competitive. We have more options with them. So for building a budget PC or a mid-range PC, let's just go with nVidia because we get so many options here. Whereas with AMD, we don't.
Don't the board partners get tired of this behavior? I can say yes.
Yeah, they probably do.
I can't tell you who, but I can tell you I've had a couple people go, God, I wish they would just stop.
Well, just think, if they put them out, they have to do marketing for it. They have to do graphic designs for it. They have to put all new boards out for it.
New branding, possibly different boards. Because
all through the production line and chain, they have to redo it for just that one thing.
Look at the 1650 versus the 1650 Super. They're using two different chips, which means different board layouts, which means different different memory traces, which means that you have to completely re-engineer your board to fit the 117 versus the 116, or you just reuse your 1660 boards, and you slap essentially the 1650 Super CPU on top of that.
Oh yeah.
But you still have to come out with all new marketing, and if it doesn't require as much power, now you take out a power header and you got these weird traces on the board for unused power. It's just weird, and yeah, it is taking away from R&D on the board partner side of things, because they have to engineer these things, and bring them to market, and they're required to, because if they want NVIDIA chips, they need to cover every NVIDIA card. So yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating from a reviewer. It's frustrating for the consumer. It's frustrating for the board partners. It's frustrating for everyone, and it's really, really crappy in my opinion.
Yeah.
Everyone loses here, except NVIDIA.
Except NVIDIA. So they're playing the long con.
Yep. Let's see. NVIDIA is turning casuals off from PCs with this confusing crap. They will just buy a console instead.
I think that's kind of my point. It's like it becomes so overwhelming. They just like turn it off.
There is something to be said for that.
Yeah.
And I've made that comment before, that consoles, they're plug and play.
You just put it in and go. Right. I mean, I obviously prefer computers over consoles, but there's something to be said about buying a set-top box. You just go. I mean, yes, there are PCs that do that, but you still have to know specs for that type of thing.
You still have to know specs. And for putting it together is pretty simple. It's kind of like Legos.
And for your person who just wants to play, your Modern Warfare, your whatever iteration of Madden footballs out there, perfect solution for that.
Right. And people go, it's so simple. You still have to install Windows, which is fairly straightforward unless you bought 2 hard drives. Now,
I mean, you buy a pre-made PC, Windows is everything's going to be pre-configured for you too.
And it can be, but then you're spending $800 to get a GTX 1650.
Yes.
If you're lucky with a lot of pre-built systems. And so it's not the greatest value proposition. And if you go on Reddit and say, hey, I bought a brand new gaming PC, they'll go, oh my God, you got so ripped off. You could have done that build for like $400.
Yeah.
And you get that crowd. Now they feel like they spent all this money and they didn't get their value out of it when they should have. And so... you get the PC gaming gatekeepers are like, oh, that's not a real gaming PC. That's not as good as my 2080 Super. To that, I have a response video coming up for that before too long. Do I have a build in store for you guys? And it's going to be very pretty.
Does it have to do with the yes? Okay, this is going to be good. I've been waiting for this video actually.
Yep. No, I've got all the parts finally for it.
Okay, good.
But it's a good one. It's a get off your high horse PC Master Race video.
Oh, actually, I had to do that.
Some people are going to not like me for this video.
So I had to. My main machine, which has just got a Windows PC for its guts in there.
Right.
For some reason, it it stopped working. The video stopped working.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like troubleshooting it, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna just get some old pile of junk that I got in the back, and I'm gonna cobble something together.
Yeah.
And I'll throw MAME on there. And I found an old Pentium 4 something, and oh my god, just working with this old hardware sucks. It's not fun. But I did find some old DDR2 RAM, and I upgraded it. And an old terabyte hard drive, and I cobbled that sucker together.
There was a point in time when I had just stacks of like 10 and 15-year-old hardware.
Yeah.
I don't anymore. I've really consolidated down to what I have. Most of my stuff is fairly modern, although I do keep around some relics here and there. But I have some ancient stuff that I want to keep for posterity. Yes. Yeah, right. I have a whole box of old CPUs.
Right, I don't ever plan on reusing it.
286, 386, 486. I've got a couple DX2s. I've got a Pentium 90. I've got a 166 with MMX. I have a dual Pentium 2 motherboard. Yeah. Dual slot 1.
Oh yeah. That's the they had the one generation with that slot CPU. Yep. And that was it. Yep. Never went back.
Well, no, it had Pentium 2 and Pentium 3 in slot.
Oh, really? They didn't have it slot? I didn't know they had Pentium 3.
Yeah, okay. and then late generation Pentium 3, they went to the socket 370. Okay. But the board I have will actually run either Pentium 2 or Pentium 3s, and in fact, you can get a socket 370 to slot 1 adapter. They were electrically the same.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay. They just different form factors.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you're a big Rick and Morty fan.
I am a big Rick and Morty fan.
You're also a big South Park fan.
I do like South Park. I've watched it since season 1.
So HBO has made a couple announcements back to back about tying up both of these franchises for their new streaming service.
That's right.
As we all know, Hulu was owned by Fox, wasn't it?
And it's now Disney.
And that is now Disney. Yeah. Right. That has been taken over by Disney. I think Hulu went through multiple different ownerships. I believe they were owned by NBC Comcast at one point. Then they sold out to Fox. And then Fox was acquired by Disney as a whole. So now Hulu is going to be its own thing that kind of runs Disney shows, but also kind of runs like other things.
Yeah, because you get your Disney Plus now, which is...
Anyway, HBO announced that they are starting up a new streaming service called HBO Max, and it's going to try to compete with the Netflixes and the Hulus and the Amazons of the world and the Disney Pluses by offering streaming from other studios on their platform. And they've got two big names right off the back. South Park and Rick and Morty will both be coming to HBO Max.
Which is a good win for HBO. Mm-hmm. But what I want to know is this are they going to merge HBO Go with HBO Max, so you still get the HBO shows along with this to make it a more appealing package?
I don't know.
Because it's going for $15 a month.
Right.
Okay. They have to have a pretty darn good lineup for me to buy that, and it has to include all the HBO shows for me to subscribe to something like that.
Right.
That amount for just the HBO shows, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
But their HBO shows plus all of this.
Right. So they've got South Park, they've got Rick and Morty. They also previously announced Boondocks.
Boondocks, yep.
And then for the kids, they've also got Studio Ghibli and Adventure Time.
Yeah. They got. I've read a couple of things that are new that they got coming up too that they're trying to compete, and good for them. But it sucks for the consumer. It really sucks for the consumer. I could kind of see another second rise of piracy kind of coming up again because I used to like watching this show. Then all of a sudden it's not there anymore, so now I have to subscribe to here to get that show.
Right.
It's like everybody used to like watching The Office on Netflix, and now Office is going from Netflix to like, well, I don't want Netflix anymore.
Right.
You know.
Someone tweeted out earlier this week, and I thought it was great. They added up all of the streaming services. They said if you have Hulu and Netflix and Amazon and HBO Max and Disney Plus and CBS All Access and whatever NBC calls theirs now and whatever Fox calls theirs now. That if you wanted like all of these the major shows, it's $95 a month.
Yeah, it costs as much as like the biggest cable package.
Shocker! It's the same as my cable package was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then this is the reason why people went to streaming services, because they got tired of paying all this money for all these channels that they didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
So, these streaming services like, well, I pay one-time $15 fee and I get Netflix and I get all these shows, more shows than I'll ever want to watch, and some of my favorites.
Adventure Time for kids? Yeah, Adventure Time is a kids show.
Apparently it is.
Yeah. Shockingly enough, but
I don't really watch Adventure Time.
Yeah.
I know some adults still like it.
Yeah.
But
it is geared towards kids. It is mostly kid friendly.
Well, I mean,
from the couple episodes I watched.
I used to like Invader Zim.
Yeah.
That was a kid's show, and as an adult, I still like that. I think it was still funny.
Heck, I like Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, no, that was okay.
I mean, if we're getting right down to it, and Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah,
if my kids want to sit down.
Some of the kids shows, the shows are geared towards kids.
Yep.
They have enough witty humor that still appeals to adults. So.
Exactly. Yep. But $95 for all these streaming services combined, and it's like that's why I stopped.
Yeah,
paying
exactly.
For this. Because
I mean, to be fair, you still have the option of not getting Disney Plus and not getting all these things.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like pretty soon people are going to start getting fed up, and they're just going to go back to piracy again.
Right.
To a mixed result. They're like, well, I just want Hulu or I just want Netflix.
Right.
And then what I can't get there, I'll just download.
Right.
So it'll be a mixed bag.
Right. And availability is the biggest problem.
Right.
It always has been the biggest problem. Is we're willing to pay for things if it's available and if I can buy it in a format that I can...
In an affordable format.
Right.
An affordable format. If it's too fragmented and it gets too expensive to get it, then it's like no one's going to want to do that anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So...
Yep. Yeah, and there's a lot of people saying, I'm not going to get this. I'm probably going to get Disney Plus, but we've already got Hulu and Amazon. Yeah. We actually canceled Netflix this last year. And it's like, I watch like 2 movies a month. I don't need it. I can go to Redbox for $1 and get this. It's like, but the biggest thing is I'm so tired of paying $100 or $150 a month for cable or dish. I cut the cord 4 years ago and I couldn't be happier.
Oh yeah, no, I did too, and it's quickly coming to the point where I'm not happy anymore.
Right.
Because I can't, I used to be able to just get everything. Yeah, that's what the Gabe Newell quotes. The easiest way to stop piracy is by putting not putting anti-piracy to work, but giving those people a service that is better than what they're receiving by the pirates. Right.
Yeah.
So cheap games is an easy way to acquire them in one central location.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course, and they'll pay for it. Yeah.
Right.
And that's what Netflix was, and that's what Hulu was, and there used to be 2 services, and it used to be fine.
Right, and that's why Netflix and Hulu were so great. And then Amazon came in kind of as a third leg, and you went, all right, I'll give you $10 a month, or I already have Prime.
Well,
so it's
Amazon
not a big
was
deal.
the Amazon Prime thing. They packaged it with Prime, and so that was okay.
But all of a sudden, you're mixing in 10 other streaming services, and people went, well, why am I giving Amazon $1 of my profits per month?
Yeah.
For every subscription, I want 100%, not 85%.
Yeah.
And it's like, can't you just be satisfied with what you have? No. Yeah. And they're going to cut out hundreds of thousands of legit customers because, honestly, I'm probably going to have to buy CBS All Access so I can watch Star Trek Picard, but I don't give 2 rips about Discovery. Or,
I don't think too many people do.
Right. And my verdict is still out on whether or not I'm going to watch Lower Decks. I need to watch a couple episodes to see.
Yeah, I'll see it. I'll see what it looks like.
I want to see what it's about.
Right.
But
it could be garbage, but...
Right. But at the same time, when I do that, I'm probably going to cancel one of the other services because I don't want to spend $45 a month for 3 services.
Any of those services when once a week for 2 hours you get Talking Heads.
That's exactly right.
You don't need anything else. It's
all
free.
All
it's
the
free.
entertainment you can ever need.
All you need.
And for Patreon backers, we might start a live stream of talking about the last week's Picard episode or something.
That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Even do that over just have you and John on as guests over live chat or something.
Right.
But we might do something like that. But CBS has the entire Star Trek library. Yeah, so did Netflix.
Yeah.
With the exception of Discovery, they had it. They had everything else.
Yeah. Things start moving around and people start dropping subscriptions. And then Netflix starts panicking and they start
And again, it's going to be an availability thing, and especially when services like Kodi and Popcorn TV still exist.
Yeah.
And you can get all of your shows for free in one location, in one application that you just go, oh, I want to watch The Office. Now I want to watch Futurama. Now I want to watch this.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, look, it's all there, and it all works, and it's all in HD.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to pay anything. And versus, you know what, I'm happy paying for something, but I don't want to go through this convoluted setup, and I don't want to have to pay for it 9 times over.
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same thing as happening in the games industry right now with
with all those different launchers.
Right.
Yep.
So and actually, speaking of launchers, that's a good segue into not the next one, but the one right after that.
There we go.
We'll skip one and then we'll come back.
Okay, we'll come back.
So EA has announced a new partnership with Valve.
Yeah, they split for a while, and now they're coming back. They had an amicable divorce, and then they got drunk one weekend, and they kind of made up, and they kind of had some hanky-panky, like, I really liked it. They got drunk. Yeah, so now they're coming back, so it's EA and Valve.
Yep.
Back together again.
Yep.
There was some speculation that it was going to be more like Ubisoft, where it still launched the Ubisoft launcher, but I guess a Remedy developer poo-pooed that idea. They said, no, it's going to be native from the Steam.
Native direct Steam launch.
Right, it's not going to launch.
No middleman launcher,
no
which
yep.
I always hate.
Yes. Yes, like, what's the point? I get it. So, yeah. I mean, just as of, I think, yesterday, you can pre-order the new Jedi Fallen Order.
Yep.
From
on Steam.
On Steam if you want to.
It's on Steam, coming November 15th.
Yeah. And as this partnership evolves, we're going to start seeing their flagship stuff.
And the thing is, usually these games on Steam that are dual platform launches, like Ubisoft,
right,
with their store.
So like Apex Legends and Battlefield,
right?
They're in both places.
It will put a disclaimer somewhere in here that it does require. Oh, here it is. Requires third-party EA account.
Yes. So you still have to have an account.
Right. It does support linking to the Steam account.
Right.
But it does require Origin to be on there. And it does incorporate third-party DRM, EA Online activation, and Origin client software installation and background use is required. So confirmed right here that at least one of the devs is blowing smoke at his butt.
Well,
maybe for that particular game, it's native Steam.
It could be per game basis because Remedy, Apex Legends, free-to-play game.
Right, but this is a first-party EA game.
Yeah.
And it will incorporate Origin and require an Origin login.
Ooh.
So.
Well, I mean, it could be just a link thing because you can link your accounts to everything. Mm-hmm. So it could be just link your Steam account to your Origin account, and then that's all you have to do.
Right.
Maybe it launches a library in the background to validate that you are.
Well, no, with Ubisoft, it actually launches the Ubisoft launcher in the background. Now, it does tie your credentials for Steam to whatever your Ubisoft account is, but the launcher is still there and fully installed.
Yes, no, I understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if it says third-party DRM, it is possible that they can have the DRM incorporated within the software, the game. When you first launch it, you still have to log into your EA account.
Your Origin, right.
May not necessarily launch Origin, but it will validate it and still have the library in there to communicate with the API. It could be doing that.
Right. So, anyway, yeah, they were divorced. They're getting back together.
Yep.
Reunited.
It feels so good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you were missing all your EA games, they are bringing all of their first-party games back to Steam. And also they announced that they're going to be re-releasing remastered versions of a number of popular first-party games by March of 2020. So this could be the Mass Effect games are getting a little polish, which I would not turn my nose at.
Yeah.
And we'll see where this goes.
Yeah.
So, in other news coming to Steam, or at least coming to PC. Death Stranding, the Kojima production,
which was heavily rumored to be coming to PC.
Yes,
has been 100% confirmed.
Officially confirmed by Kojima himself.
Yes, exactly.
So thanks to all who've been supporting Death Stranding. Death Stranding released on PS4 November 8th. Furthermore, Kojima Productions is happy to announce that Death Stranding will be coming to PC early summer of 2020.
Right. So there's been a lot of rumors that it might be an Epic launch exclusive because
Yeah.
the publisher that they're using for the PC version is pretty Epic friendly.
Yep.
But
Likes themselves a payday.
right. Yep. Exactly. So who knows?
Yep.
Still, with every Epic release, there's always just a waiting game until it comes out on Steam. So
Yep.
it's regardless, it'll come eventually, and then eventually we'll figure out what the heck is going on with Death Stranding. I still don't know what the story is about.
I don't think anyone really
I
does.
don't really know. We got.
It looks really good.
I mean, look at these guys right here. We got Black Mask from Batman here.
Yeah.
We have in the middle here. We have.
It's like Bane mixed with Punisher.
Yeah, this is like Chewbacca with alopecia. I don't know. There's Skeletor at the end over there.
Yeah. With his heart in a bag, it looks like.
Yeah, or something. No, it's a fetus.
Yeah.
It's a Skeletor with a fetal beast man.
Gosh.
I don't know.
It's Miranda from Mass Effect with glasses.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, I thought she kind of looked this chick right here in the middle kind of looks like Dee from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Identical.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did she get pregnant?
No. It was one of Kojima's fantasies, so just programmed it in.
Sweet D.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's coming. Everybody kind of speculated that it would, but it's 100% confirmed now.
Definitely coming now. Fallout.
Yes.
We didn't get to this one last week.
No, you didn't talk about this.
We didn't talk about Fallout 76 and their new Fallout First subscription service.
Which was absolute garbage.
Yeah. I didn't talk about it because I didn't know how to properly make fun of it.
This makes perfect fun of it. This
is great. We found a way.
This is great. This is really good. So for those who don't know, we have Fallout First, which is a subscription service for Fallout 76. And what it essentially does is charges the users a yearly subscription to something that they promised day one.
Right.
So that's why a lot of people are really pissed off.
Private servers, which turned out not to be private.
Right.
Unlimited items, which turned out not to be unlimited. More crafting, which turned out to be like paid crafting.
Yep.
Better resource grabs, so loot boxes.
Yep.
And you're paying $100 per year for the privilege of Fallout, we'll just say effing you over.
Yeah.
So one very industrious web developer noticed that FalloutFirst.com was available.
Yeah.
So
he kind of hijacked it.
So he registered it.
Yeah.
And started a website called Fallout First. So FalloutFirst.com takes you to FalloutFUFirst.com. And you get a golden ticket to be the first member effed.
Yeah.
We were going to try to keep the language to a minimum, although it is rife.
It is rife
within here. So if you have little ones in the room,
it is kind of
there will be language on screen.
We're getting close to prime time.
We're getting close to prime time. I'm still trying to keep it fairly PG. Yeah. So we will certainly try.
Yeah.
With that said, private worlds, scrap boxes, and more coming to Fallout 76 with Fallout FU First.
Yeah. FU First.
Which is just awesome.
Yeah.
So basically this guy took all of the marketing materials and just slightly reworded them to be how Fallout is going to be screwing you out of $100 a year, not what benefits you're getting.
Yeah.
Including, obviously, the Fallout First membership benefits, private worlds, play in a private world exclusively for you and up to 7 of your friends. Scrapbox, unlimited storage for crafting components in your own Scrapbox container. And the list goes on and on, or on for 4 more items.
I like this one down here where he starts talking about the sex tent.
The sex tent.
Just pop up old sex tent whenever you want. Yep. For good old FU Fallout action.
Drop the new sex tent to quickly set up forwarding operations space when you're roughing. out in the wilderness during your next adventure. The sextant comes complete with a stash, sleeping bag, scrap box, cooking station, and even an instrument to help you blow hot air up your ass during a day of exploring Appalachia. Once placed, it will also act as a second fast travel point in addition to your main camp, giving you even more freedom to travel anywhere on the map without spending caps. Just use your real money. You'll be able to deploy your sextant from your favorites wheel.
Yeah. So it's a pretty good website. Just go there and check out the funny.
And so utterly to the point.
Yeah.
And I love that this website exists now.
I know. This is pretty great. A big flub on Bethesda's part, not registering Fallout first.
Yep.
But I think that was pretty hilarious.
1 month, 12 month.
Yeah, 1 month, 12 month.
$100 a year. Remember when you could run your own game server on your own LAN for you and up to 7 of your friends? Actually,
for free?
I remember when I could do it for like 64 of my friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And did quite regularly.
Oh, yeah.
Way back in the day.
Oh, yeah. And another funny thing about this, of which I don't think we even talked about in any of the news items, is I think if you go back up to the list of benefits that you get, so you get the Ranger Armor outfit, which is an iconic Fallout outfit, which is exclusively for those members.
Yep.
So the people who subscribe to this stand out because they get this outfit.
Yeah.
So the regular players
I've been beating the living hell out of them.
Targeting those guys specifically to beat the crap out of them. There's essentially online hits out for these people who have these outfits.
Yep.
If you have that outfit, you're gonna get targeted.
Yep. Which is just hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny too.
Don't wear the Ranger outfit.
Yeah.
Or just kill someone to take theirs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can actually loot
I don't
the
know.
Ranger outfit,
I've not played Fallout 76. I really don't have any desire to.
Yeah. So yeah, just another in a failed series of what the living F are you doing, Bethesda?
Thinking? Yeah. What are they thinking?
Well, they're thinking they want to make money.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
But you can't do that by screwing over your customers. Yeah. You're not an ISP. You don't have that kind of power.
You don't have that many Fallout 76 fans anymore.
Right.
So you're like, let's just figure out the hardest way to screw them.
Yeah. Speaking of screwing someone.
All right.
There's always news articles this time of year about make sure to look in your kids' candy for razor blades. Or they're giving out drugs.
Yes.
If you find a house that's giving out drugs in your neighborhood, let me know, because I could seriously use a hit.
Oh, I remember seeing the article about, like, you got to watch out for people giving their kids edibles. I'm like, there's no person in the world that's going to give their edibles away.
I'm giving you a $5 gummy bear.
Nobody. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're going to be rare if you can find somebody giving you full-size Snickers bars, let alone a gummy.
I mean, there's that one house in the neighborhood, but even he's not giving you his gummies.
No, he's keeping them to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way.
So, literally not a thing. And they go, well, there was that one case. Yeah, the one case was of the dad doing it to his own kids to spite the ex-wife.
Right, yeah. So it was like... It's an old, like... 80s rumor, like Satanic Panic type of a thing. Mm-hmm. Way back then, it's like, are you going to find razor blades in your apple? Which, that's obviously back in the day. No one gives apples anyway. But this is a modern day, very, very scary trick-or-treating story.
So this is kind of a proof of concept, and it's being done non-maliciously. Kind of a black hat non-malicious.
Oh, yeah. Just proof of concept.
Where he is installing it on people's machines without their knowledge. But there's an industrious hacker who is handing out USB keys called Demon Seeds. And what these are HID, or Human Input Device emulators, which will plug into a unsuspecting computer and install a bit of malware. Now, this is not an unheard of hack. In fact, I believe one of the big name companies was found guilty of doing this mistakenly because a vendor they bought USB keys from at a conference were infected with malware.
Yeah.
I believe
this is an IT nightmare.
I believe it was Intel, maybe at a security conference.
Oh yeah.
I want to say it was Intel, although don't quote me on that one. It could have been someone else. It might have been like McAfee at a security conference. Here, have a free USB key, and it turned out to be a malware-infested USB key. Anyway, he will be deploying a bunch of these USB keys under the guise of free game codes. Fortnite, Roblox, Pokemon, Minecraft, and more. Plug me into your parents' work computer for free codes. When you're done, share me with your friends, but don't let your parents find me.
That's good. That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to see in your kids.
The idea being that you use these kids as your little minions to spread your physical malware.
Right. You have little gremlins crawling around in your home network.
The unit emulates a USB keyboard, which can be programmed to enter whatever keystrokes are necessary to take over the machine or to exfiltrate data. Files are available on GitHub for those looking to replicate the device, and actually the device is pretty darn simple.
Yeah. It's just a USB device.
Right.
USB devices can automatically launch code when you plug it in.
You could do this with, the ESP8866 or whatever that little device was. And actually, I think that's even been renamed like the E3 or something like that. Mm-hmm. There's a tiny little microcontroller that is like $1 that you can pick up.
You can do the same thing. Yeah.
Right. And you could load this onto one of those and hide these as USB keys. And as soon as they have power, they'll infect whatever they got. So I don't think this is anything you really have to worry about.
No.
But the proof of concept is there. And
everybody knows not to pick up strange USB devices and just plug them willy-nilly.
I hope everyone knows that.
I hope everyone knows that.
Right.
Come on. I have heard of cases of people just like, oh, what is this in the parking lot? Let's go plug it in.
That's how Stuxnet got to...
Yes. Yeah. This is like bad news. You don't do that.
Sneakerware malware is a thing still.
If you want to figure out what's on that thing, then you have a computer that's not connected to anything else. That's completely disposable.
Corporate espionage is still a thing, and that is a valid attack method, is drop a USB key into the parking lot of a corporation you're trying to infiltrate.
Yes, exactly.
See who plugs it in. Yeah. Where do they plug it in?
You put a USB with some crudely drawn words that say nudes on it. Mm-hmm. Just drop it in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to pick it up. They're going to plug it in.
Exactly. So, who else is trying to get a hold of me? Okay, no one important. Cool.
Okay, there you go. See, that's where you need your watch.
That's right.
This is going to be shameful. I gotta go use that.
Go for it.
This is too much.
So, that pretty much does it for the news today. We're actually done about 20 minutes early. I do see some people commenting about who uses Hamachi, who did use Hamachi, which was actually a LogMeIn product for virtual private networking, basically virtual LAN networking. Not a VPN as you might know it today with the VPN advertisements, but Hamachi was to basically create a local network over the internet. So if you wanted to play old TCP/IP games or even IPX-based games, you would load Hamachi onto your computers and you would share a network, and you'd be able to play Warcraft over LAN instead of over dial-up and things like that. So worked very, very well. I used Hamachi quite a bit. I used it for a lot of older games that I wanted to play with some friends online. When some servers went offline and wanted to play with friends, you could load that up and host your own. So as if you were on a private LAN. I know a lot of people use that for playing Halo when the Halo servers went offline. Halo and Halo 2. So there's not... I know Hamachi still exists, and it's probably still the best service for doing something like that. So, there you go.
Oh, thank God. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. I'm back.
You feel better now?
Yes. I know I got still 20 minutes left. There's no way I could.
No way you're going to make it.
Well, I had 2 gin and tonics before I came here. So.
We've had a couple shows that have been cutting it really close.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, we've got 20 minutes left of showtime. The floor is your guys'. Unless, Steve, you had something you wanted to chat about, bring up?
No.
All right. What do you guys want to talk about?
We were talking about Hamachi, which I just used Hamachi, not just recently. And it worked out pretty good. It still works pretty okay. I mean, I used to use it from now and then, but
I've used it both personally for playing games and professionally for making like one remote computer somewhere that I needed.
Yeah, that's what it was for. I used it because I was trying to help somebody set up remote connection so I could help them on their desktop, and they couldn't get it to work. So I'm like, okay, let's just use Smartwatch.
Yeah,
I know that works. It's super easy.
Yeah, I tried getting them going with like OpenVPN, and they're like, I can't.
Yeah, and the Hamachi is super
download
easy.
this.
Download this.
Type in these 4 numbers.
Yep, that's all you have to do.
And I'm in. All right. Any progress on the game streaming server? I have been so busy with other things, mainly selling my house and trying to buy another one, that I actually haven't produced any videos in almost 4 weeks now. Hopefully I'm going to get back into form over the next couple weeks. I should have a couple coming before Thanksgiving. But we should be closing on our house right around Thanksgiving. So I'm hoping to do 3 or so more videos in this place. And then I'm hoping November 25th we have our keys and I can start doing content in the new place. Do a couple weeks worth of moving vlogs where I'm getting my network set up and show you my new server setup and that kind of thing. The new wet bar that will be going into the new house.
That was one of the stipulations when he was looking for a house, was there has to be, and oddly enough, that was one of the stipulations when I moved into my new house. It's like, there's got to be a wet bar.
He goes, Jaden says, I've noticed you haven't posted anything other than these live streams to your YouTube channel this month. And the live streams have been the only content that I've been pushing to the channel, mainly just because I have not had time. I've either not had time, or the one day that I've had for production, I haven't gotten that video done. I do have a couple that are on the back burner where I've recorded like halfway, and I'm waiting for a finished piece for it. I have an RX 5700 review that I've got all the benchmarking done. I just haven't shot yet. And then I have a build where I've shot the build part of it, but I need to shoot a follow-up video, and that's involving Hops and Brews, John. So you should overclock your new house. I'm actually hoping to keep it fairly cool because half of it's underground.
Daylight basements are nice. Yes. I got a daylight basement in mine, and it stays relatively cool down there without too much AC or anything like that. So it's nice.
The new studio is in the daylight basement, so that should be very, very nice. None of my storage is going in the basement. It's all going to be up in the garage or in other locations. Okay. So the entire area, which is like 4 times the size of this room right here,
is
just going to be studio space. Okay. So I'll have 2 or 3 different shooting locations. A lot more versatility than I had even before at my old house.
So theoretically, it is kind of overclocked. It's overclocked a little bit. Yeah,
it is. And there will be a wet bar on the talking head set.
Yeah.
That I'm looking forward to. Any video with John is a good video. Yeah, and he is...
I disagree.
And he is coming to Craft Computing for at least 1 video, possibly 2. So... we did a really cool build with John. I think it turned out very well.
Yeah, he wanted a new editing rig.
Yep.
You should really tell him to use better microphones.
Yeah.
Or to check the
battery every once in a while.
On the microphones. Yeah. Every time I go over there for a beer review with him, it's a mixed bag of whether it'll
work. Yeah. Well, he just needs either a camera that provides phantom power, or he needs a dedicated preamp.
He just a little nuclear reactor. He's just plugged in.
Yeah. What are we drinking today? We announced at the beginning. Right now we're doing an Nkasi Dawn of the Red.
Although I just finished it. Just done.
Feel free if you want to open the next one.
Right,
I think I'm going to pass on the 3rd beer.
You think so?
I'm a little...
okay. Yeah. You know? I just emptied my tank. I need to fill that up. So.
No. Yeah, I actually didn't eat dinner. I'm not feeling all that well this evening. So I hope this has been a good show. I hope I brought the energy, but my energy level is actually pretty low. I am so beat.
I'm actually doing pretty good.
I'm
like Samson.
Yeah.
Shave the beard off, and all of a sudden I'm a powerhouse.
Yeah. It was the inverse with Samson. You cut his hair, and all of a sudden he can't do anything.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm the reverse Samson.
Yeah. Inverse Samson.
Yeah.
You see him when he shaves his chest. He's boy's on fire.
Yeah, that's right.
You're a little perkier today, Steve. You do a little manscaping?
I did a little manscaping, yeah. Yeah. Makes it look bigger.
His pec he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about my pecs.
Yeah. Looking forward to that collab. Yeah, it was a fun video. We've already shot the first half of that video with John. We need to shoot a follow-up. He upgraded from a quad-core, not overclocked system to a we'll say not a quad core, and kind of a very interesting build, we'll say. And it's not a Chinese X79.
Yeah.
But it's still a Chinese board, so stay tuned. But yeah, we made his build look pretty. Gave him a Quadro graphics card for doing some video editing, and I guess he's been very, very happy with that setup. So we just need to find out how much faster it actually is than his old system.
We'll have to do some more beer reviews and figure it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jeff, any plans to do a Halloween spooky stream tomorrow evening? We had planned on doing this as kind of a dress-up themed
didn't
day.
Happen. I was ready to do it.
Yeah.
I mean...
To Steve's credit, he was... is it a Chinese X99 board? Yes.
Okay.
Steve had his costume ready to go, and in fact, I got a sneak preview of his costume this last Friday, and it was pretty epic. I was digging it. I wasn't able to get mine together. I just had no time.
Yeah. It's okay, though. It happens.
Yeah. So
it happens.
I have been so pulled in so many different directions this month. Like I said, I'm getting back on track. My schedule should be opening up fairly quickly. I'm hoping by mid-December I am back in studio, full production. In fact, with more time to do productions. And we're gonna hit CES early January, and when I come back, I'm gonna hit the ground absolutely running with content. So I know it's been kind of a weird couple of months. It's going to be another weird couple of months, the next couple, but January is going to bring some very good things to the channel.
While you're waiting here, you can listen. What is this? This is...
Don't do that. Don't do that. No.
That sounds okay.
Nope.
I'm not showing it. It's just the sound. Just the audio.
Well, I don't want to get copyright struck either.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was like
you missed my dancing.
Like a couple. It was a couple notes.
Do the walk of life.
Now you're copyright struck because you just hummed it.
Woo-hoo. Yep. A bit off topic. Does the shape of the beer glass matter or something?
Yes, it does actually. In several cases, if you're talking about aroma, especially the decarbonating, I guess the aromatics lifting out makes a big difference.
Examples.
And are you talking about glasses with beer, or are you talking about glasses with just alcohol in general? Because there are two different answers to that. Especially when we're talking about whiskey and scotch. There's definitely a different type of glass you want to use.
So I've got a couple examples here of some different glassware. I'm going to move those out of the way. I don't remember what this particular glass is called. But if I get...
a tulip glass, I think
it's a tulip glass, but it's a very specific tulip glass.
Yeah, it's a long stem tulip.
Right.
I don't know what it's called.
Anyway, you can get these on Amazon. This is an excellent beer tasting glass. This is specifically for tasting beer. Really of all different types. The reason this one is kind of unique is, number one, the shape of it kind of funnels the aromatics towards your nose.
Yes, so you smell it.
It expresses the aromatics more. It's also laser etched with a bunch of different little dots on the bottom of it.
So you get more bubbles?
So you get more bubbles, you get a longer head presence on the beer, which also helps with the aromatics. So for tasting craft beer, this is excellent. They're about $18 a piece, and they are well worth it if you're looking to dive a little bit deeper into exploring your beers.
And if you think that smell doesn't play into the tasting of beer, you're wrong.
It totally does.
Olfactory senses is like almost 50% of the flavors that you taste.
You eat with your eyes first, you drink with your nose first.
Yes.
You absolutely do. This right here is called a stout glass, and this one is made for stouts. It's made for dark beers. And the reason being is it helps hold the head a little bit longer with the little bulbous shape right there. Yeah. Also, stouts typically aren't as aromatic as IPAs. And
they're like just stout.
They're just they're hearty, they're meaty, right?
Smelling,
there's a lot of coffee, but they also tend to be a little bit boozier, and so you actually don't want to concentrate that smell. You actually want to let that one go. So thus the wider top. And then there's Pilsner glasses, there's conical glasses, which are these. Conicals are just your standard beer
glasses,
pint.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about them. There's nothing really redeeming about them either. No. They're just simple. Moving into the liquor range, this is called a Glencairn glass. And I will also put a link to Amazon if I can find where I got these at.
And those are great for tasting whiskeys and scotches.
Whiskeys especially. Whiskey, scotches, that kind of thing. And again, it's meant to funnel the aromatics towards your nose. And versus trying to smell in a rocks glass or even in a shot glass, this absolutely enhances your whiskey experience.
It's a whole different experience when you do it. Honestly, it is. Yeah. And so if you are a scotch or whiskey connoisseur, I would highly recommend picking up some of those glasses.
They're not that expensive. You can get a pair of them for about $20 to $25.
You probably go to like a Goodwill and find some.
Yeah, and in fact, I was at a Goodwill. They had them for like a couple of bucks each.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago. Because I always go to Goodwill and look through their glassware trying to find some unique stuff for
I think I
things
have
I don't
way
own.
too much glassware in my house now.
My wife claims that I do, but I'm missing so much from my set. I really am. Different types of beers. There's an IPA specific glass, which is kind of a tulip shaped glass, but it fills all the way to the bottom and it has these ridges on the bottom.
Yeah.
And that's again to kind of stir the IPA while you're pouring it, express more of a head, and it has the tulip shape to kind of, filter those olfactories directly to your nose. There's a whole bunch of different shapes of glasses, but yes, they do make a difference.
We have a finally I made it question.
Finally, I made it. I'm working with Proxmox. I was going to use ESXi, but cost. I was wondering how I can use a Pi 3 or Pi 4 as a client viewer. What is the best way to figure this out? From Proxmox, there's not really a great client viewer built into that, and there's not a remote client viewer either. The remote viewer that's into the web interface is very, very software derivative. It's very low spec. It's meant to be able to see what the virtual machine is displaying, not actually like use it as a physical computer. You'd have to use some kind of remote software. So if you have VNC on your on your VM installed,
that's free too.
You could do a VNC client over to your Raspberry Pi. If it's a Windows thing, you could use remote desktop. If you're trying to do a PCIe pass through, like I was doing with my gaming setup, then you could do something like Parsec for gaming. There's also Looking Glass, I think is the other one that does that. Yep. Windows Remote Desktop, Steam Game Streaming, in-home streaming. All those would work for doing games. Yep. Depending on your setup, you might have to do some minor tweaks here and there. I know with Parsec, you can't have a software-based video renderer and your discrete GPU. You have to have only a discrete GPU for that to work. There's some things to work out. There's no native viewer for a Parsec VM though, or for a Proxmox VM from a Raspberry Pi though.
So he's going to use remote desktop RDP.
Which VR games did you play with your new headset? Let's see.
Which ones?
I haven't played for quite a while because I haven't had the space in over 6 months. And in fact, even before that, I didn't have a lot of space.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, we were talking about this in the Discord. The new Steam UI became public today.
Yes, that's right.
We didn't cover that in the news today because we just found that out.
It literally updated about 20 minutes before I started the stream.
So people who are using Steam, if you run the update, you'll have the new library UI.
Yep.
Which is, in my honest opinion, a little mixed bag. I overall like it for the customization options. The speed has gone down.
Yes,
it's
significantly.
A lot more sluggish, and I don't like about that. There's also a what's new newsfeed at the top that you cannot turn off, which I would like to turn off because I find it mildly informative at best and annoying
and intrusive at worst.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So visually it looks a lot better, and the filtering options much better. But performance down.
Yeah.
And some of the customized specialty stuff I'm not a big fan of. So.
Right. Anyway, VR games that I enjoy playing. Someone mentioned Elite Dangerous. That is absolutely an excellent experience if you can get through the controls. If you can figure out how to use your controls. Myself, I like running with a pair of joysticks. I have a pair of Logitech joysticks with a whole bunch of buttons, and I can memorize the layout on them. And you kind of need that for all the different controls that are inside of Elite, because you do need them all. And Justin, I see your $5 comment. I will get to that in just a second here. So don't let me forget.
I won't let you forget.
Let's see. So Elite Dangerous is always a great one, as is Project Cars 2. Has amazing VR support if you're into sim racing. As far as the stand-up playing experiences, I go back to things like Superhot is freaking excellent.
Great VR.
There's Duck Season.
Yes.
Which is the Duck Hunt VR, and holy crap, it's a horror game.
Kind of a horror game.
It's a horror game.
Good to play around this time of year.
It's a horror thriller game, and oh my god, it's good. It's one of the only games I've ever played in my life that has legit made me jump. And legit like got my heart racing a little bit. So I definitely recommend that one. Let's see, what else is there? Job Simulator is a great intro to VR. And I guess there's a sequel to Job Simulator coming out very soon.
Yeah.
If you like more of a traditional gaming experience, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice has a VR mode, and it is incredibly beautiful.
Well, that's a great game,
right?
Graphically, just to begin with,
right?
So,
but you get to play that in a third-person camera perspective.
Yes, great.
In the game, and so good. Especially with the Pimax 4K headset.
Because it's just got that wider view.
So good. So yeah, definitely quite a few games in VR that I do enjoy playing. I am going to get back into VR when I get the new house. I'm hoping to actually set up a play space in my garage where I'll have about a 20 by 20 foot play space.
How insulated is the garage in the new place?
It's half underground. It's also sunk.
That's better. Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
Because like my garage, which is not in the database, it's above. And this time here in Oregon, just to let you guys know, it's very cold right now.
Yes.
It's been in the 20s, 30s. The last couple of days, and it is freezing in my garage right now. I would not want to do VR out there right now.
Yeah, no, the new garage is sunk about 3 feet on two sides.
Oh, okay, then you're good. That's going to maintain temperature a little bit.
Right, so it'll help. It'll help. The garage door is definitely old, doesn't have a great seal. It's still going to be cold out there and hot in the summer, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Overload also has a VR mode, which is the Descent spiritual successor made by the original devs of Descent. That's a fantastic game in VR. There's quite a few really, really good games out there. I'm kind of drawing a blank right now. There's a Rick and Morty experience. I'm not sure if it was worth the $15, but it's fun.
There is a new VR game from the same makers of Rick and Morty. I forgot what's the game called.
They also made Job Sim.
Did they? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, but I haven't played it. I don't know if it's any good, but it's supposedly same makers of Rick and Morty. It's Justin. What's his name?
Roland,
yeah.
Yeah.
When you can tell it's his voice.
Yeah. Anyway, any speculation on the Threadripper since the announcement event is allegedly on the 5th, the day before the next episode? We will definitely have information on Threadripper as it's announced and released. I've had speculation that I think they're going to come out with a 16, 24, 32, 48, and 64 core.
64 core.
64 core, and I think they are going to absolutely wipe the floor with every single Intel offering. As if they haven't already done that with their 16 core 3950X.
So they already stomped it, now they're going to take the heel and start twisting it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to be twisting the knife and doing things to Intel's mother in the background. It's not going to be pretty. Unless you're an AMD fan.
Yeah, and then you'll be happy.
Or if you're just a fan of competition in general.
I'm more of a fan of competition in general because competition drives prices down, drives innovation, and gives the consumer much better options. So I'm always a fan of that.
Yeah, for VR games, try Superhot if you haven't already.
Yes,
that is excellent advice.
Probably one of the pinnacle ones.
It is probably one of the best experiences. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we will have a ton of Threadripper news on the air, I'm sure, next week. I'm not privy to the announcement, so I'll be seeing everything as you are, but we will do a nice roundup of everything that we see. So, I doubt they'll go 64 cores as it would encroach on their lineup. No, they'll go 64 cores. I guarantee it. 3990 WX or 3990X. It'll be a 64 core. Or at least they're leaving room for a 64 core. I think they might launch with a 32, but mark my words, they'll have a 64 core within 6 months.
Yeah. Nothing close. Yeah.
How did the World Series end?
Oh, did it finish?
Nationals win.
Oh, the Nationals won.
Yep.
Okay.
6-2. They scored 2 more in the top of the ninth.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So they finally won the series, huh?
Nationals win Game 7, and Steph Curry suffers a broken hand and a hard fall. Holy crap. Sorry, I'm a big sports guy. So, so you'll forgive me if
I am not. I don't care one way or the other. I mean, I like football. Football's fine. Oh, yeah, he just curb stomped the guy. Straight up. Looks like great.
Wow. So any thought that the Warriors were going to be okay this year? Boy, it's not looking like it.
Well, he's kind of laughing it off a little bit.
Nah.
Let me see. Where did he get stomped? Wait,
he rolled his ankle there.
His ankle.
And then coming back down the court, he took a hard fall. Right. It got landed on, rolled the ball up on him. Oof. Yeah. Man. Sorry if you're not a sports fan. I totally am.
I mean, there's some sports I like.
Right. You got landed on right there.
I like.
Big guy landed on him.
I like, badminton and tiddlywinks.
Lacrosse.
Oh yeah,
A little lacrosse. Little
underwater chess.
I doubt the new Threadripper will be on the T4 socket. It will not. It will likely cross with the SP3 socket. That was my bold prediction. Was it's going to be the same socket as Epic, which is physically the same but electrically different. And that will allow them to go from 4-channel to 8-channel of memory. So they're going to have lower end boards and lower end chips with 4 channels of memory, and then higher end boards and higher end chips with 8 channels of memory. But I believe they will all cross over with each other. So that's my guess.
Butt scratcher.
Butt scratcher. Butt scratcher. Butt scratcher. Thank you for that. Yeah. 10:01.
I'm Australian. I don't get how you have a World Series when there's no one else in the world in the competition. Well, that's
when all the best baseball players in the world come to the U.S. to play.
I don't know. Okay, no, it can be technically the World Series because there's Canadian teams that participate.
That's true. We have a Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto plays.
Yeah. So if it's cross country, then it's technically could be considered world. Yeah. You can't call it by-country series. It just doesn't sound right.
It kind of for the same reason that we have the NFL World Championships, which is the Super Bowl. Because no one else plays football.
No one else plays football.
Right.
But there's...
And I know everyone else plays baseball. All the best players are here. Mm-hmm. Is there any doubt that any major league team would win a world championship against any other league in the world?
I mean, Japan's pretty good.
Japan's pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't think they could compete.
Would the Marlins beat the Japanese national team?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they do. There's some Japanese players that come over and play over here.
Right.
But it's the cream of the crop.
But take our bottom 5 major league teams.
Would they be against?
Would they beat almost any?
Of course.
Any other?
Yes. Of course. Yes.
That's why.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of like the NBA. We can just call the NBA Finals the World Championship of basketball.
Right.
Because
we as soon as they opened up, the NFL players to be in the Olympics, which was like back in the 90s.
Right.
I think we trounced everybody.
Well, yeah,
it
was called the Dream Team.
Yeah, it was. They just slammed everybody.
It was a weird thing this last year because the U.S. actually lost in elimination rounds in the FIBA Championship.
Yes, they did.
But you figure the top 50 players weren't playing for that team.
Yeah, no, they weren't.
And there's and with the NBA, a lot of the national players will play for their home national teams, and so you'll get Enes Kanter playing for the Turkish national team, and you'll get, or probably not that because he can't go home, but you'll get a lot of these other players playing for their national teams.
Yes, they'll go back. They'll go back to their home team.
The Serge Ibaka is playing for Spain, and Pau Gasol playing for Spain, and that kind of thing. Tony Parker playing for France and whatnot. So you have legit NBA superstars playing for their national teams, but you have enough players from the U.S., they're still usually first or second in the world.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about the NBA Finals, that's when all the best players are still together.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Call it what it is. Epic CPUs killed all server Xeon's next workstation. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would agree.
And good riddance X299. I say that as someone who's using X299 to stream this right now. Good riddance X299. It was a terrible platform.
Yeah, well, you get the next Epics coming up. Replacement.
Yep. Can't wait. I think that's going to do it.
Oh, that's good. Almost done.
Almost done.
All right.
I'm almost done with my second one.
Yeah.
It was a lighter day.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm tired. I don't feel well. So hopefully it was a good show for you. Episode 104.
I had fun.
Talking Heads.
I don't know about anybody else.
Steve had fun, and that's all that matters.
That's right.
That's right.
I love you too, King. I can't.
Tanishi,
I think.
Yeah. X299 was a patchwork platform. I fully agree. It had some good moments. It was a botched release at first, especially
it was literally a...
What the hell was that i5?
It was a Friends clip show version of the platform.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, it was just not a good platform. It was stable, but it wasn't as fast as it really should have been. It should have been so much better. Yeah. But they gimped it so it wouldn't encroach on the Xeon line, and they ended up losing both to AMD anyway. So, Tanichi.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I was close. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's going to do it here on Talking Heads for episode 104. Thank you so much for watching this one. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe to this video if you liked it. Check out the link down in the video description to Hops and Brews, where Steve and I sometimes make an appearance with John over on his channel. Give him a little bit of love.
And don't forget to join the Discord.
One of the best
Discord. I mean, I may be a little biased, but I'm still saying the most audience participation I have seen in any Discord channel for any channel I've ever been in.
And it is all 100% pleasant.
Yes.
There's no little to no moderating I ever have to do on there. The conversations are always on point. Yeah. Great group of people. I could not be more happy and proud of that server and the people that have been attracted to join it. So please, if you feel you are worthy, follow the link down to Patreon down in the video description. Yeah. Consider joining the Discord. Takes a minimum donation of $1 a month, although more donations are definitely appreciated.
And if you really want to, you can scroll back all the way till Monday. Mm-hmm. And then you can see Jeff sing karaoke with Hops and Brews.
Thanks.
You're welcome
for that.
It's like a 13-second clip. It's nothing.
It wasn't the full thing.
It's not the full
thing. Although, didn't you post another one of me doing The Saga Begins?
Yes, but it was like even shorter.
Yeah.
It was like maybe 6 seconds. Yeah. It was even smaller.
It was long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, you can look forward to that over on the Discord. Anyway, that's going to do it for us over here. We will see you same time as every Wednesday, 8 p.m. next Wednesday, the 6th, here on Talking Heads.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.